Hello friends, welcome to Allied Classes. In previous videos we have discussed about DNA, that is DNA is a nucleic acid, deoxyribose nucleic acid. Now in this video we are going to talk about the RNA. The structure of RNA on the basis of the function, that is mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. Now RNA is a ribose nucleic acid, and these ribonucleic acid are also a polymer of nucleotide. So first we will going to see what is RNA. RNA is a nucleic acid. Okay, there were two types of RNA, genetic RNA and non-genetic RNA. As we know that in case of viruses, the genetic material is RNA, and in case of higher organisms such as eukaryotes and bacteria, the DNA is a genetic material. So we will write here genetic RNA and non-genetic RNA. Now genetic RNA means some virus are having genetic material as RNA, means RNA viruses. As they have genetic material as RNA, so this genetic material of RNA means virus have genetic material as RNA is a genetic RNA. You can see here it is a genetic RNA. And if we talked about eukaryotes or bacteria, they are having genetic material as a DNA, means they are not having RNA as a genetic material. So example of non-genetic RNA is eukaryotes or bacterias. Now non-genetic RNA were having three different types on the basis of their function, that is mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. mRNA means messenger RNA, tRNA means transcribe RNA and rRNA is a ribosomal RNA. Now we are going to see the structures of mRNA, tRNA and rRNA. But before that, if we are talking about RNA, RNA is a ribonucleic acid. Means as we have seen in case of DNA, DNA have three sub main components. In such case, RNA also have three main components. So what are they? Means ribose sugar. Okay, if you are talking about ribose sugar, in case of pentose sugar, means the structure of pentose sugar in case of RNA is a ribose sugar. We are going to see the structure of ribose sugar, but before that we have to see RNA also have three main subcomponents. Okay, three main subcomponents. Which are they? First, pentose sugar. Second, nitrogenous base. And the third one is phosphate group or the phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid. Okay. Now, in case of DNA, DNA also have pentose sugar. These three main components, that pentose sugar, nitrogenous base, phosphate acid. But what is the main difference between RNA and DNA? If we talked about pentose sugar, the DNA consists of deoxyribose sugar and RNA consists of ribose sugar. Okay. If we talked about nitrogenous bases, in case of DNA, nitrogenous bases are adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. And in case of RNA, the nitrogenous bases are at the place of T, T is replaced by U. Means the nitrogenous bases in case of RNA is adenine, cytosine, guanine and uracil. Means at the place of T, T is replaced by U. And phosphoric acid is same in case of RNA. Okay. Now we will see the structure of ribose sugar. We have seen the structure of deoxyribose sugar. That second carbon does not have functional group in case of deoxyribose sugar, but the third carbon have the functional group. Now we will see the structure of ribose sugar. Here you can see a pentose sugar. Structure of pentose sugar. Here first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon and fifth carbon is attached at the arm. Now at first carbon the nitrogen base is going to be attached. Here the nitrogen base is going to be attached and forms a glycosidic bond. Okay. Now here in case of ribose sugar, here you can see a functional group, HOH group. HOH group means at second carbon and third carbon there were the two functional group present in case of ribose sugar. And here at the fifth carbon, phosphoric acid or the phosphate group is going to attach and forms a phosphodiester bond. So this is the structure of ribonucleotide. We are talking about the ribose sugar, so it is a ribonucleotide. Okay. So the main difference between DNA and RNA is in deoxyribose sugar only third carbon have functional group and second carbon does not have a functional group. In ribose sugar both second and third carbon have functional group. Now nitrogenous bases, if you are talking about the nitrogenous bases, then nitrogenous bases are A, U, C, C, G. Okay. On the place of T, here you can see in case of DNA here it will be T. On the place of T, U is replaced. Okay. Now as we know that DNA is a double strand. Normally DNA is a double strand structure and RNA is a single strand structure. So the base pair rule or the Chargaff's rule is not applicable for RNA, because we know that the RNA is a single strand structure and Chargaff's or the base pair rule is applicable for the dsDNA or double strand nucleic acid. Now we know that there were the three main types of RNA, that is mRNA, messenger RNA, tRNA, transcribe RNA or rRNA, that is ribosomal RNA. First of all, we will see the structure of mRNA, that is a messenger RNA in case of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now we will see about the mRNA. Okay. The concept of mRNA means the messenger RNA was first given by the Jacob and Monod, these two scientists, in 1961. So the concept was given by Jacob and Monod in year 1961. According to Jacob and Monod, mRNA is a molecule, comes on DNA and brings information on ribosome to form a protein or to synthesize a protein. Now we will write here synthesized. First of all, if you want to understand the structure of mRNA, we have to understand how the mRNA is formed, the steps to form mRNA. So first of all, we will draw here the structure of, or we will draw a DNA strand. Okay, here you can see a DNA segment of DNA here. Okay, from 3' end to 5' end. So this is a DNA strand. This is a DNA strand. Okay. As we know that on DNA strand purines and pyrimidines are present, so we will write here adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, adenine, cytosine, cytosine, thymine, guanine, thymine. We have written these purines and pyrimidines. We are arranged on the DNA strand. Now, if you are talking about RNA, if you want RNA, so we will draw here the strand of RNA 3' to 5'. Okay, this is a RNA strand, so you can understand better. This is a RNA strand. Adenine codes for thymine. But in case of RNA, there is no thymine, it is a uracil. There were uracil present on the case of RNA. Means adenine will code for uracil on RNA, guanine will code for cytosine, cytosine will code for guanine, thymine will code for adenine, adenine will code for uracil, cytosine will code for guanine, thymine will code for adenine, thymine will code for adenine, guanine will code for cytosine, and thymine will code for adenine. Okay, so this is a RNA strand, means complementary RNA strand. Now take this RNA strand. Now you can see here, if you want to understand, first of all, you can see a DNA segment or the RNA segment where the introns and exons are present. But now the question arises what the exons and introns are. Introns and exons are the segment present on the strands. Means alternatively they are present, exon, intron. Okay, means this is exon, intron. To understand better, we can make them darker. Means if this is intron, this will be exon. E. Okay, I E. We will make them darker to understand. These are exons. Now, what is the function of exons and introns? Introns are non-coding region and exons are coding region. Means E, we have written here E, darker part E, means it is a exon. I means introns. Exon is a coding region. Where the ribosome get code and further get transcribed and translated to form a protein. And introns are non-coding, means there is no transcription, no translation and no protein synthesis. Here you can see non-coding region. Okay. Now this strand is going to be goes further the splicing process. Splicing means the cutting. Splicing process. The first step is a capping. You can see a capping. This is a splicing process and the last one is a tailing process. First of all, we want to see then how the splicing process occurs. Means as we know that these introns are not going to be transcribed. Maybe we can't see the transcription process here. So in splicing process, all exons are having a piece-like structure and they are going to be attached further. Okay, means you can see here all exons and introns are going to be cut. Here you can see this is intron, exon, intron, exon, intron, exon, intron, exon, intron, exon. Okay, here you can see. Now all exons are going to be arranged at the one region. Okay, here you can see all exons are going to come and attached. Okay, this is all are exons. So you can write all exons are attached. But this is not a stable molecule, means all exons are going to be attached. This is a highly stable molecule, and to stabilize this molecule, now the capping process occur. Here you can see a capping process. Here the caps are going to be attached, and this molecule is going to be, this whole molecule is going to be stabilized. Okay. Now this exons, when these exons are going to be attached and get stabilized, this is going to be come out from nucleus. This all processes held inside the nucleus. Now this molecule is going to be come out of nucleus into the cytoplasm, and then translation process occur. Okay, now we will see the main structure of mRNA. How is the mRNA is formed? Now here you can see the structure of mRNA. Here you can see these exons are attached. Here you can see adenine, adenine, adenine. Many adenines are present here. And this is a 5 prime end. Okay, this is a 3rd prime end. This is a 5th prime end. As you know that here the cap is present. Here tail is present. Means we can say it as a poly A tail. Why it is known as poly A tail? Because it is a having many adenine at the end, at the tail part. As we know that mRNA consists of start codon and stop codon. Here you can see start codons are present. We know that the start codon is AUG and stop codon is UAA. Okay. So this is a start codon and this is a stop codon. Now before start codon, the region is present. This region, this is the initiation process. Okay, initiation region. This is initiation region. This is termination region. As we know that before initiation region there is a particular region before start codon, and after termination region there is a particular region. So this before initiation region there is a region known as 5' UTR, means 5' untranscribed region, and after termination there is 3' UTR region, means 3rd' untranscribed region. So this is about the mRNA, structure of mRNA. So this is the structure of mRNA, means after capping and tailing, the mRNA becomes stable. mRNA is a short-lived RNA, means as soon as they are having translated, they are informed to form a protein, they are dissociated. If suppose we are having 100 molecules of proteins, it does not mean that this same mRNA is used to translate the 100 molecules of proteins, but 100 proteins have 100 mRNA that translate to form a protein, and afterwards they are degenerated or dissociated. So these proteins or this mRNA is known as a short lived mRNA. Okay. Now the function of this mRNA is to take information from DNA to translate from ribosome to mRNA. As we have seen here, the capping process, splicing process. Splicing process, the main important thing of splicing, if you want to define a splicing, then it is known as a removal of introns. Splicing is important for removal of introns. Okay, and here one enzyme is used at the in the process of splicing process, that is endonuclease. This is an enzyme which is used in this process to cut the exons. Okay. Now we are going to see this mRNA formed in prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So we will see and draw the structure of mRNA. Okay. Now we know that there is difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So we will draw the diagram and we will see how this mRNA is formed in case of prokaryotes and in case of eukaryotes. So we will see on the next page. So now let us consider that this is a prokaryotic cell. We are drawing here the prokaryotic cell, and this is a eukaryotic cell. Okay. Let us consider this is a prokaryote and this is a eukaryotic cell. So we will write here prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. As we know that prokaryotic cell does not have its own nucleus, means nuclear material is present or suspended inside the cytoplasm. And eukaryotic cell have its own nucleus. So you can see here the nucleus in case of eukaryote. Now we know that prokaryote have genetic material inside the cytoplasm. Here you can see the genetic material. So the genetic material is present inside the cytoplasm. Here the bulb-like structure is present where the transcription process takes place, and from here mRNA is going to be attached, code and get attached to form a mature mRNA. Okay, means here the mature mRNA is going to be formed. Now in case of eukaryote, what happens? Here you know inside the nucleus, here the DNA material is present. Here the double helical structure, you can see the genetic material is present. Now from this DNA mRNA is going to be formed. Means mRNA is going to be formed inside the nucleus, is known as transcription process. Transcription occurs in case of eukaryote inside the nucleus. Transcription process. Okay, where the premature RNA is formed, means premature or pre-RNA is formed. Okay, in case of transcription process. Now what happens? This mRNA is a prenature. This mRNA is going to be come out in the cytoplasm by the nuclear pores. Nucleolar pores comes out of cytoplasm. Here you can see a mRNA comes out from the nucleus, from the nuclear pore, and this is a mature RNA, mature mRNA. Between this process, the three things occur between them, that is PTM, means post-transcriptional modification. Full form of PTM is post-transcriptional modifications. Now the three things occur in this post-transcriptional modification, that is, we have seen in short that it is capping, 5' capping. Second one is splicing, and third one is poly A tailing. Okay, you can say just capping, splicing and tailing. This is about mRNA we have seen. Now in next video we are going to see about the tRNA. what is tRNA and the function and important point of tRNA. So thank you friends for watching my video.